All right, good morning, traders. Today is January 25th, 2024. My name is John Carrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. My SPY pivot this morning still remains 484.05. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY, QQQ, and FNGU closed the day above the bullish trap and above the 17 EMA trend indicator. Diamond Dow, IWM, closed the day inside the bullish trap and above the 17 EMA. Okay, SPY, QQQ, XLK, and SMH all printed new all-time highs yesterday. Gold remains bullish, but it's closed the day below the trap and below the 17 EMA, below the downtrend line. SLV remains bearish, closing above the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA trend indicator. So kind of caught between the trap and the trend indicator there, but below the downtrend line. USO makes uptrend status today. Today it's making uptrend status by trading over the December 26 high and closing above the trap and above the 17 EMA trend indicator. UNG closed the day inside the bearish trap below the 17. The dollar index maintains its daily downtrend, still closing under the flat 200 SMA after spiking it consistently for 3 or 4 days. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. All right, so here we have the daily chart. Again, new all-time high for SPY yesterday. So SPY comes back. We have a little base here. All right, I'm going to point this out. We have a possible birthday trade. Hold my beer, either one, whatever you want to call it. We got a base going on. If we look at the 15, you can see here's this base right through. Let me grab my drawing tools. And you can see we got a base going right through here. All right, so if price could pull back, price goes up and then kind of pulls back to this support area, and it could bounce up twice as high. We'll see what happens. All right, we're pulling back right now, and we were pulling back late yesterday, so a pullback to the support line could give us a rip all the way back up to twice as high. Whether it completes it by Friday, I don't think so. It'll probably complete it by maybe Monday or Tuesday if that's what it decides to do. That's if this base holds, all right? So that's what we're looking for, the base to hold, and then we're looking for confirmation. So we have an uptrend line. Let me take this off and roll this out. So we got an uptrend line going right through here, all right? We haven't quite hit it yet, but we're coming in close to it now. All right, so that uptrend line was 484.84, which I think is, if you look at the pre-market activity, that's where it hits, right there, 384.84. And then from there, it looks like it bounces off of that area. So we have a downtrend line and an uptrend line. We'll see what happens here today, but I'm looking for that birthday trade to possibly materialize. And I need this base to hold in order for that to work out. Now we could come all the way down to this area right here. This would be our anchored VWAP, anchored at the low of this pullback right here. We could come down and spike this for a minute and then recover and come back up to the base and still get that birthday trade that takes off. So we'll see what happens. There's the SPY. Here's the uptrend line. You can see them connecting the 17 and the 18 together, those lows there. And then I fan it out to here. So we'll see what happens. So there's SPY. Let's go take a look at QQQ. Remember, QQQ did about the same thing as SPY. Excuse me. QQQ, new all-time high. All right, still got a gap open in here. All right, QQQ closing above the trap. above the 17. Super bullish. Things looking good for QQQ. FNGU does about the same thing. Okay. Gapping up. Higher low, higher high. New 20-month high right there on FNGU. All right. So there's FNGU closing the day above the trap, above the trend indicator. Diamond Dow. Not quite the same story. All right. So Diamond Dow puts in a higher low and a higher high, closing inside the bullish trap right there. So Diamond Dow kind of pulling back into some resistance right through here. Looks like we got some resistance. Got up there for a day, then it starts coming back. See us coming back underneath this resistance here at 378. So we'll see what happens with Diamond Dow. But nice base, nice bull flag base going on right there. Hope this is not a failed breakout. It could be. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, it's a Russell 2000. Russell 2000 puts in a lower low and a lower high. So you can see here, price left off the previous day, gaps up. You got a lower high, and now you got a lower low right there. So price closing inside the bullish trap, but above the trend indicator. So there's IWM. Let's take a look at some of our energy. We got some good news. All right, so here's USO, and USO was trading up over this early this morning, so that puts it in uptrend status. Not closing, but trading up over those highs, and you can see we have an uptrend going on here on the daily. We have a 3/8 cross happened on the 16th, right there. The 3 crosses over the 8. And it's continually rising back up over the midpoint. That's nice work. And yesterday's candle got a higher low and a higher high. Looks like we're going to, well, in the pre-market they were up there. Looks like we could get another higher low, higher high. Some more continuation on USO crude oil right there. So that's hits uptrend status today by trading over this high right here. That's what we needed to do. Other than that, kind of stayed in the downtrend because we broke that low right here. See the low right there? We broke the low, traded below the low, and that put us in downtrend status until we break this high. So here we are breaking the high right there. Well, of course, we could have called it this high. We could have broke that high and said it's in uptrend status. But so now we got uptrend status anyways. All right, so there's USO. UNG had a 1-for-4 split, so it took you four shares of UNG, gave you one $20 share. So you had 4 shares at $5.09, gave you one $20 share. It was $20.36. So that's what you got for UNG when you opened up this yesterday morning. UNG putting in a higher low and a higher high, closing in the trap but under the trend indicator. So there's UNG still in an uptrend, believe it or not, because it hasn't broken this low. It's a vicious pullback, a violent pullback, but it still hasn't broken this low. So it's still in uptrend, even with all of this pullback we got right here. All right, let's take a look at some precious metals. SLV, we'll start with that one first. SLV in a downtrend, breaking the higher low right here. So we have a downtrend. We've got a lower high and a lower low, puts it in a downtrend. And you've got a bearish 3/8 trap. Price action close between the trap and the trend indicator right there. So there's SLV and underneath the downtrend line. So we have a downtrend going on in SLV. Now price action, gapped up. Got a higher low and a higher high. So it looks like they're fighting off that trend right now. GLD. Gold. All right. Gold still in an uptrend, but pulling back. So we have a little mini downtrend going on here. So gold gaps up. So we got higher high, lower low, increased volatility, closing underneath the trap, underneath the trend indicator, underneath the downtrend line right there. But still in an uptrend on the overall bigger picture. That's a bull flag right there. So there's gold right there, trying to hold off this downtrend line from completing its mission. All right, let's take a look at some of the technicals for yesterday. Okay, so here's our T2122, and you can see we came out of the overbought zone and hit the chop zone, spent a little time in the buy zone, and then we just melted all day right there. That would be like the Russell 2000. That's not what happened in the SPY, but that's what happened in the overall market. Okay, from overbought to buy, well, actually down to chop, back to buy, and then all the way down to the seller's chop zone. So we'll see if that continues again today. All right, so there's T2122, T2123 gaps up, green, and then about 12:30, 1 o'clock, they just started to sell. So you can see right there. So we gapped up, moved over to the right, and now we're back underneath this falling 200. Not a good sign for IWM or the Russell 2000. Same thing, really. All right. T2123 3-bar chart. Okay, we turned it green for a day or so, and now we're back to red. All right, so we'll see if we can hold this support area. You can see we came down, we bounced up. I need to come back, kind of hold this support area right through here. This is T2123 3-bar. We have a nice bull flag going on. Just like to see it hold this area right here. It's going to be difficult. We got a curling 200 coming in down here. It's going to be a couple weeks before it gets there, but it's coming in. That's good. Let's take a look at FNGU indicator. Okay, so here we are with, let's try this one. There we go. A gap up and move over to the right. So it's kind of like a bull flag. So green for the most part. Failed to make a significant higher high and comes back down to test the lows right there. All right, so green for the most part until the last hour and a half, and then they decided to fade it back underneath VWAP. So VWAP failed to hold on FNGU on the 15-minute. All right, so now if FNGU comes back down to here, SPY will probably be well underneath their base. But watch for FNGU to come down to this base and do the birthday trade right there, right on top of that base or right at that base right there if it continues to drop in. If it drops in, we could see it bounce up. Wait for the bounce because this is not a red rubber school ball this time. It's just kind of coasting in here. And this could very well coast right through, hit the rising 200, and then come back up and go through. So wait for that confirmation on FNGU and SPY. All right, so there's our technicals for this morning. Let's take a look at, we had some new highs. I want to show you those. All right, so we got some SMH. New all-time high on SMH. Nice consolidation, breakout. November breakout, new highs. XLK got some new all-time highs. Look at that. Kind of just mirrors SMH. Consolidation, breakout in November. New all-time highs for XLK. Now IYT, not quite new all-time highs. Long ways away from it. But it's up there. It's in the challenge. It's in the challenge area up there. And we've got a double bottom higher low right here. So we'll see if they can get price going back over this high. Kind of struggling with this 267 area. For the daily candle, we had a lower high and a lower low. All right, but this is a nice bull flag up here in quadrant 4. So good news there for IYT. Not looking too bad. Not quite getting done what we want to get done, but all in all, that's very bullish to hang out up here in quadrant 4. All right, XLF. Let's take a peek at XLF. Now, XLF, that is not new all-time highs, but let me just say, they're heading up there. We got a higher low on actually double bottom here. Double bottom low right there. Double bottom higher low going off to make new highs. See, that's what I say. When every time you see a stock and it makes a higher low, there's a good chance they're going to run off and make higher highs. Sometimes they might do it by, $50. Sometimes they might do it by 2 cents. Either way, look for that momentum to carry forward. So that's why I say when you get that higher low, there'll be pressure on the bulls to produce that higher high. So here we are with XLF, and it's moving back up. So I guess the market likes the financials, and a lot of financials just reported. So that's really good news to see the XLF hitting to a higher. What is this? It's like a 20-month new high. All right. So that's not too bad to see that happening right here in the market. So that's very nice right there. Again, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the trend indicator. And now we finally got an area we could probably draw an uptrend line. I'm not crazy about this uptrend line, but there we go. Now we have an uptrend line. Before, when it's kind of curved like that, it's hard to put that uptrend line. This is like way too steep to put it in, but here we've got some consolidation and a breakout right there. So that's nice on XLF. All right, let's go take a look at the dollar. So here's the US dollar index, all right? Here's the July low. It's the October high. It's the November failure to make a higher high right there. We came down to the flat 200. That's the blue line. All right. We traded underneath the flat 200, and then we hit some kind of resistance there. Failed to make a new high, and we broke down. So we now have a downtrend line. All right. Came down to major support over here. See how my crosshairs line up? Right there with this low. See this low here kind of lines up with this major support over here. All right, so we hit the major support. That'd be the lows of a consolidation area. So you hit the major support, bounced up, did a 9-day bull flag. All right, here's the flag pulled and consolidated for 9 days. Had another breakout of the flag, and now we're consolidating. We're on 7-day consolidation here, and we're trying to close over the flat 200. Now it looks like we got it done on Tuesday, but yesterday they came back down. So trying to get over this flat 200 has been difficult for the dollar. We'll see if we can get some economic data that comes out that could inspire the dollar to get bullish. Now, GDP may help the dollar, may not. I don't know. I would think high GDP would strengthen the dollar. All right. Low GDP would weaken the dollar. Really, a lot of the GDP is determined by the dollar. So I don't know if it's the dog wagging the tail or the tail's going to wag the dog. We'll see what happens. So anyways, bull flag consolidation, 7 days over to the right. Still can't close a nice complete candle over the flat 200. But let me just say, they're not leaving the area. All right, that's different. They're not going up and then bouncing away. They're going up and they're hanging out. They're leaning on that flat 200 as if given enough time, they will break through it. So we'll have to see what happens. All right, so there's the dollar index. All right, max pain for today. Let's refresh this. Today's the 25th. I don't know why they do this. They didn't do this before. Max pain for today, 482. We got 1 1/3 puts for every call. All right, 482 max pain. Max pain for tomorrow, Friday, 479. All right. So they're kind of scheduling a drop. We'll see what happens. And tomorrow we got over 2-to-1 puts to call. Quite a bit of inventory on the put side there for SPY for tomorrow. Max pain 479. All right, economic calendar today. Today is the main event. GDP 8:30. All right, GDP comes out in about 10 minutes. All right, durable goods at 8:30, international trade goods at 8:30, jobless claims at 8:30, retail inventories 8:30, Chicago Fed National Activity Index 8:30, wholesale inventories 8:30. A lot of stuff happening at 8:30. Let me just say it. All right, new home sales 10 o'clock, natural gas at 10:30, personal income and outlays tomorrow at 8:30. Pending home sales, 10 a.m. tomorrow, okay? The main event is today, all right? And the calendar, all right? So Tesla came out with earnings last night, all right? They didn't do so hot, or the market didn't like it, all right? So they're selling off right now. At least they were last night. Now, they could come in and forecast a brand new future, so who knows what it's going to look like in 3 hours. All right, but they kind of disappointed last night. Again, that was the aftermarket, so you really can't trust it. You can get 1 million shares trade lower, and then the market opens up, and next thing you know, Tesla's $10 up. So be careful with that. All right, so there's earnings for today. We got Visa comes in tonight, $500 billion. Intel comes in tonight, about $200 billion. They're going to report tonight. I think Intel should do well. We'll see. They've been disappointing lately. T-Mobile comes in tonight, about $200 billion right there. All right, and this morning, Comcast, $176 billion. Union Pacific Railway, $150 billion. NextEra Energy, $120 billion. Marsh McClellan, $98 billion. And Blackstone Financial, investments, $84 billion. All right. So, Clack Corporation, KLA, $84 billion. Sherwin-Williams, $78. A lot of market cap. Most of it comes in tonight, though. All right. So Comcast and Union Pacific. Nothing really to shake the markets this morning. Just some leftover remnants of what happened last night with Tesla. All right. So that is the market day for today. I will take questions in the room. Let's just go see where we are in the pre-market. This says 485.82. Let me check one other. Check this out up here. This says 485.93. They're kind of hovering right over this minor support area. Haven't quite hit it. There's the low. The low is 484.46. All right, so you can see 484.84 kind of held. All right, so we'll see. That was the uptrend line that we viewed on SPY, which is, let's take a look at it back here. That's what I was talking about. Here's our uptrend. And I went out to the 15-minute. And you can see this line, this line kind of if you had a candle in here, it would be about 484.84 right there. So we spiked this line in the post market, and we'll see if we can get a bounce up through this downtrend line right there. I like to break that downtrend line and then move twice as high. And it's quite possible we come down and spike this area. We hit this rising anchored VWAP right through here and then bounce back up to the uptrend line. We'll see what happens. All right, take questions in the room. I'm going to go render my video. If there's no questions, everybody, Looking forward to this market open, and GDP comes out in 6 minutes.